Hey you, you who clicked on this video. Thanks for giving our channel a shot. And if you will, please do us the honor of watching the video all the way through. Appreciate it. Now onto the video.
Are blacks underrepresented in video games? Representation in video games is a tricky subject, not because of a lack of representation, but because we first need to define representation when it comes to video games. If we are strictly talking about black representation in games, then black playable characters are in fact overrepresented because of sports games like NFL Madden, NBA 2K, not to mention the most popular of all, FIFA. So what's the problem then? Well, if we examine an article in the New York Times from January 2022 titled "Behind the Movement to Create More Black Video Game Characters," we see that the author attempts to paint the picture that there is a lack of lead and playable black characters in gaming, with quotes such as, "I would like to see more black leads," from a 13-year-old black boy named Edward, or "We were told there was no data to justify it. Regarding gamers who are black, indigenous, and people of color, they told us, don't know how many BIPOC people are playing, particularly how many black women are playing," according to a mobile developer named Latoya Peterson. So let's look at the only thing that matters to gamers, the games. So to make this video more manageable, I will be breaking this down by genre and informing you where you can get your hands on the games I will be highlighting. So to begin, let's look at the action-adventure genre. Most of the games are from a third-person perspective and have elements of light puzzle solving, melee, and armed combat. So our first character is Nilin from the game Remember Me. Nilin Cartier-Wells is an amnesiac freedom fighter recruited by a mysterious man named Edge to bring down Memorize, the corporation that created the memory-changing technology known as Sen. During her mission, she must uncover her stolen memories and expose the crimes committed by Memorize before finally setting out to bring them down. Next, we have Lee Everett and Clementine from the Telltale series The Walking Dead. Lee Everett is the protagonist of Season 1 of The Walking Dead, and Clementine is the protagonist from Seasons 2 and 3 of The Walking Dead, respectively. Oh, no, I'm sorry, Seasons 2 and 4 of The Walking Dead. She's a dual protagonist in Season 3. So Lee Everett is a convicted felon. He was convicted for murder of a Georgia state senator, Sam, who slept with his wife. Lee is freed from his fate by the zombie apocalypse and encounters a young girl named Clementine. He takes Clementine under his care, and the two meet up with a group of survivors. Clementine is a young black girl who is taken under the care of Lee Everett in the first season, but as the seasons of the Walking Dead game continue, she has found herself in the caretaker role of a small boy named Alvin Jr., following the death of his parents, Rebecca and Alvin. Next, we have Marcus Holloway from Watch Dogs 2. Marcus is a hacker. He is a part of DedSec, and basically his job is to create as much chaos in order to bring down the corporate power structure that is basically, for lack of a better term, enslaving the people of not just Los Angeles, but the greater United States. He works with his hacking group DedSec on various missions to do this. Next is Miles Morales from Spider-Man Miles Morales. Now, if you don't know who this character is, I don't know what to tell you. You probably just woke up from a coma or something. But Miles Morales is the sidekick of Peter Parker, aka Spider-Man, in the Spider-Man games. When Peter Parker goes on vacation, he leaves the city of New York in the capable hands of Miles Morales. Will Miles be able to protect the city from a looming threat, or will he fail at being the next Spider-Man? Definitely play the game to find out. And last on the list, we have an indie game called Dandara. Dandara is not only the name of the game, but the name of the main protagonist. She is a black female, and basically this is a side-scrolling puzzle game where you're dealing with the various geometry of the world. You should be able to see the B-roll to see what I'm talking about. It's a very fun game. I've actually been playing it for a while. So if you do decide to pick it up, let me know if you enjoy it. Okay, so next we have RPGs, or better known as role-playing games. So our first character that we're going to mention is Barrett Wallace from Final Fantasy VII. In particular, Final Fantasy VII Remake, as he has a far larger role than he did in the original, and he is fully playable. Barrett Wallace is the leader, or one of the leaders, of the eco-terrorist group Avalanche, in which he is basically trying to free not only the planet Earth, but its citizens from the clutches of the evil power company Shinra. Barrett's a very interesting character. He is a war veteran. He has lost an arm from the war, and in losing his arm, he also gained a daughter who is the daughter of his best friend from his war days, and he takes care of her as if she is his own child. Next, we have Viviane from Dragon Age Inquisition. Viviane is a mage, a Tevinter mage to be more correct. She is of a noble house. She has fantastic magical powers and is one of the more powerful mages that you ever get to play with in the Dragon Age franchise. She is both regal, well-spoken, and generally carries herself with the demeanor that you would see of a queen, not necessarily of a mage in the party, but she is a fantastic addition to the party and one of my favorite characters in that game. Next, we have Saz Katzroy of Final Fantasy XIII. Now, even though Final Fantasy XIII is not my favorite Final Fantasy by any stretch of the imagination, Saz is one of the brighter spots of the game because he brings a lot of seriousness to the affair, where there are other characters that are kind of more lighthearted in that particular game. His motivations are very clear. He's trying to rescue his son, who was taken from him in the beginning of the game. He is a capable fighter, and he's usually the voice of reason and discretion within the group. And he's just a fun character. He's very well-rounded, not one-dimensional at all. So if you like those kind of characters, I'd definitely say give Saz a look. Even though, like I say, Final Fantasy XIII isn't my favorite, it's playable and enjoyable, if not for anything else, just for his character and dialogue. Next, we have Jacob Taylor from Mass Effect 2. Jacob is a very capable fighter. He is what is known as a biotic, which is basically a human being that has psychic powers within the world of Mass Effect. He assists Commander Shepard in the fulfilling of the mission that they have undertaken in trying to stop the Reapers in the employ of Cerberus, basically a humans first identitarian group. He has a very multi-layered backstory, and he is a person that is moved by a large sense of duty and honor. Great character. I enjoyed him from start to finish. Mass Effect 2 is actually my favorite Mass Effect game, so playing as Jacob is wonderful. I'm still kind of pissed that he never got an action figure, but that's a story for a whole nother day. You know what I'm talking about, BioWare. You gave everybody a damn action figure except for Jacob, but we're not going to go on that tangent right now. So that does it for RPGs. Next, we have first-person shooters. First-person shooters are interesting in this, especially in the last couple of years. One of my favorite characters is from a game called Deathloop, and this is going to have the first two characters in this list are from the game Deathloop. So, first is Colt Vaughn. Colt is the main protagonist of Deathloop. He is recently waking up from amnesia, and he notices that he repeats the day every time he dies. His central mission is basically to recover the memories of his past so he can find out who he is and break the loop. Next, we have Juliana Blake. Juliana is the antagonist of Deathloop, and after completing the game playing as Colt, you then play as Juliana. Juliana wants the loop to continue. She has a sordid past with cult that you uncover throughout the first campaign, and basically playing as her puts you in the position of taking out other player characters in the online gaming arena. So basically, if you are playing as cult, you are playing each mission until a Juliana comes in and tries to kill you. So basically it's a cat and mouse game within the greater narrative in which either Colt kills Juliana or Juliana kills Colt, restarting the day and basically restarting Colt's progress. So a really cool dichotomy, 2 black characters, really awesome. I can't say enough good things about them. Next, we have Alyx Vance from Half-Life, in particular Half-Life Alyx. Half-Life Alyx is the spinoff of the original Half-Life and is starring Alyx as the titular character. Now, Alyx is a very interesting character. She's very smart, very capable. You see this in the first few Half-Life games, and then you see this again in Half-Life Alyx, which is one of the best VR games I've ever seen in my life. I mean, just bar none, fantastic. Next, we have Aurelia Hammerlock from Borderlands, the pre-sequel. Aurelia Hammerlock is very similar to Vivienne from Dragon Age. She is also from a noble house, in particular the Hammerlock house and the Hammerlock family. You will notice that if you've ever played a Borderlands game, that her brother is a non-playable character in all the other Borderlands games. She has ice magic, and she uses a litany of different firearms to accomplish her missions. Her dialogue is hilarious and snappy. She's actually, I think she has a British accent if I'm not mistaken, and she's just a really cool character. So if you like those type of characters, they even have, like, what's funny is they even have a Grace Jones style skin for her. So anybody who knows who that is, it's a throwback from 80s movies, but she has one of those skins. So it's just really cool. Like I say, playing as her was a delight in the pre-sequel, and even though I'm not the biggest Handsome Jack fan, I really did enjoy Aurelia Hammerlock. So last but not least, we have fighting games. Now, I would be remiss to say that black characters are underrepresented or not represented at all in fighting games, because that's just not true. So first and foremost, we're going to start with the Street Fighter series. First character we're going to highlight is Elena from Ultra Street Fighter 4. Elena is of African descent. She uses the fighting style of capoeira, and she's just a really fun character. She doesn't really take things too seriously, as you can see in her story arc if you ever get a chance to play the game, and playing as her is really cool. Like, she's not underpowered at all. She has a really high reach in the game because of her extremely long legs, and I like playing with her. Next, we have Balrog from the Street Fighter series. I think he's in almost every mainline Street Fighter game. He's been in it since the beginning. He is modeled after the boxer Mike Tyson, which you can plainly see based on his character model, and he is very powerful. I would never want to be on the receiving end of one of Balrog's punches any more than I'd want to be on the receiving end of Mike Tyson's punches, as old as he is. Next, we got Jackson Briggs, aka Jax from the Mortal Kombat series. Jackson is the partner of Sonya Blade, who are trying to basically uncover the Mortal Kombat tournament. Jax has mechanical arms. He's been in Mortal Kombat, I want to say, since the second Mortal Kombat game. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, you guys always do anyway. And he is a powerhouse. Fantastic character. He's particularly fleshed out in Mortal Kombat 11. So if you ever get a chance to play that and you want to play story mode as Jax, definitely do that. Next, we have Jade from Mortal Kombat. She is a princess, and I think she's the half sister of Katana, if I'm not mistaken. But again, I could be wrong on that one. She is a really cool character. She's been seen in the Mortal Kombat movies as well. And she uses various martial arts. In particular, I do believe she's using a form of ninjutsu of some sort. Really cool to play as, very agile, very powerful. And last but not least, from the Tekken series, we have Eddie Gordo. Eddie Gordo also happens to use capoeira. I do believe he is of Brazilian descent. He's also one of the easiest players to get into, but one of the hardest to master. His ability to juggle opponents as he flips around the screen is amazing. And Even if you are on the losing end of an Eddie Gordo match, you'll never be disappointed with the spectacle that's shown by this particular character. Well, now that we've gone through the various genres, let me know, did you support any of these games? Have you played as any of these characters? Do you think that there is a lack of representation in gaming as far as black characters, or did you not know about a lot of these characters in these genres? Definitely comment below and let us know what you thought about this. The next episode in this series will be covering TV series. So again, we'll see you on the next one. 8-Bit Heroes out. Peace.
If you'd like to get a shout out on the channel, then hit that like button, maybe share it with a couple of friends, and do us the biggest honor of all, and subscribe to the channel so you can join the 8-Bit Heroes family. And while you're at it, hit that bell icon so you can be notified when our new videos come out.